Hello everyone, welcome back to Bits and Bob's Divination. My name is Caitlin and today we're going to be reading into the energy, insights, and guidance coming in for your week ahead. So let's go ahead and get started. Alright, so hello everyone who joins me for these weekly readings every single Monday. You guys know who you are and I appreciate it so much. So thank you. You guys are such a loyal and lovely community, and I know we're small, but I love the energy and I love to read for you guys each week. So thank you for your continued support. And to those of you who are new to the channel, welcome to this cute little community we have going on here of tarot and charm-loving people. I use tarot for my readings, as I also use different decks like this Lenormand deck and also different oracle decks. But my favorite type of thing to use is charms that we're going to use in this video and every single reading that I do on this channel. Also, with this channel, I do weekly readings like this every single Monday, as well as timeless readings like ones on your spiritual and magical gifts and abilities that a lot of people like, and other ones. And I also do blessings videos at the beginning of each month for your monthly energy and the blessings coming in. So if you're interested in any of that, or just would like to join this community, it'd be lovely to have you guys here. The amount of times that I say lovely is a lot, so buckle in for that. But yeah, it'd be lovely to have you guys here. And with all that said, let's go ahead and look at these piles. So I've decided to go for the jar theme again here today, as it's kind of like one of your guys' favorites and it comes up a lot. So I decided to choose different ones having to do more with the holiday season at this certain time. So let's go ahead and start getting into it. So for pile number 1, you have the option of Selenite here, alongside this vial of birch wood bark. So that is pile number 1. For pile number 2 here, we have some mistletoe alongside this piece of red jasper. So that is pile number 2. And lastly here for pile number 3, we have a bunch of blue spruce needles alongside this piece of yellow aventurine. So if this resonates with you, then this is pile number 3. So as always, we're going to go ahead and take a deep breath together so you can make a better decision and really, heighten your intuition and really dive into these piles to see which one is best for you. So let's go ahead and take that cleansing deep breath now. So as always, feel free to choose any pile you'd like. You can pause if you need to, but you can choose pile 1, 2, 3, choose all 3 of them, 2 of them, choose a pile, change your mind, flip-flop as you'd like, see what resonates and play around with it. There are no rules, no right or wrong to this, so feel free to play around with that. But for those of you who are ready and already know which pile is for you, feel free to check out the chapter marks within the video to find your specific pile, or check down in the description below where you can find the timestamps listed. You can also find the different decks and supplies I used, where you can get different private readings, and the Instagram link to my Instagram where I do spirituality, polls for the community, and other really fun things happening over there. So if you're interested in any of that, that'll be down below. But for those of you who are ready, we'll go ahead and get started with pile number 1. Hello group 1, if you've decided to choose this tumbled piece of selenite alongside this little vial or jar of birch bark, then this is the pile for you. I'm going to go ahead and set both of these down here so you can see them during your reading today, as we are going to be using the charms, the watercolor affirmations. We're also going to be using the everyday tarot, the secret garden, and the Celtic Lenormand deck today as an oracle deck. So let's go ahead and get started on your messages here, group 1. We're looking into any energy, insights, or guidance coming in for your week ahead. We're looking for group 1. Okay, so the first one you have here is the Fool. See what else you have here. So group 1. Any energy, insights, or guidance coming in for group 1's week ahead. The week ahead for group 1. What do we need to know about their week? Anything coming in? Anyone coming in? What do we need to know? Right, you also have here the 8 of Wands. Let's see what your final tarot message is today. So group 1, we're looking for any energy, insights, or guidance coming in for your week ahead. So you also have here the World. How fitting that you'd have both the World and the Fool, because if you're familiar with tarot, the Fool is actually the very beginning of the tarot journey through the major arcana, and this is actually the final card. So we'll speak on that as we go, but let's go ahead and look into your other messages before we get started on these. So group 1, we're looking for any energy, insights, or guidance coming in for group 1. Group 1. What do we need to know about group 1's week ahead? Ooh, there it is. We love a jumper card. You also have here the Fox, and with these Lenormand cards and Lenormand cards in general, they come with different numbers, so these might resonate with some of you. And you have the number 14 here and the 9 of Wands or the 9 of Clubs. So there it is right there. And then 14 with the Fox. And we're going to go ahead and see your secret garden message for the week. Group 1, weekly messages for group 1. Any guidance for group 1? Group 1. What do we need to know about group 1 for their energy, insights, or guidance coming in? All right, there we are. So you have here beauty. So it says beauty here. Dare to be tender and strongly vulnerable. So there's beauty. And we're going to get your final message here before we do the charms later on. So stay tuned for those because we can get a lot of details and interesting information from those. But let's see some more here. So you also have decide which way to go, right? So you have decide which way to go. Very Chariot energy here. It makes sense. So let's go ahead and start diving into these different messages before we do the charms later on. All right, so first off, I want to talk again about the Fool and the World card here. So the Fool and the World, right? So the World actually talks about an ending, an achievement, something that you've finished, something that has, been tied up in a bow, you've finished it off and you're ready to move on to a new sort of start, or at least things feel very like in a closure feeling. Things feel full circle. As you can see, she's dancing, she's celebrating, she feels very like she's achieved something and very proud of herself. So whatever you've achieved recently, you're feeling very proud this week. You're having a lot of that sense of like, I've gotten a lot accomplished. I've been really working towards my goals. Things are coming full circle. Things feel like there's that, bow on the top of the gift, right? But then you also have the Fool here. So there is this energy of now, once you've finished, now what, right? So once you've finished something, this can be something much larger, seeing as this is a major arcana card, but it can be something small too. Like personally, I'm crafting a bunch of gifts, so I feel like I'm going to be like, what do I do now with all this extra time once I'm done crafting? Because you're going to have all this extra time, or you're going to have all of this extra, enthusiasm or drive for something, but you don't know what it is, right? So the Fool is all about just trying something new, right? Like you can see they have this, and it's also about belief, like, because you can see they're ready to just jump off this cliff, no matter what anyone else is saying. Like they have belief in themselves. They believe that they're like that cartoon that's just gonna stand once they walk off the cliff. Like they just know they have that power within them and that drive within them to just achieve whatever they want, especially since you might be feeling that like high of achievement of being like that dopamine rush where you just feel like so wonderful about your accomplishments that you feel like, well, I can just do anything, right? And sometimes that can be foolish. Sometimes that can get you into trouble because it's something new. It's something you haven't done before, maybe, or it could even be just a new adventure having to do with whatever it is you completed. So this could be a new job. This could be starting on your own in a new project that you've never done before, something that is very new to your skill set, because you have here the fox. And the fox, some people will see more as like a 7 of swords kind of card, being sly, kind of sneaky, clever, and cunning. So you might have some of that coming in, especially with family members that maybe you don't like coming in over the holidays or something like that. So that might be something to consider. But seeing as you have the Fool here and the World, it's making me think of the other side of this card, and that foxes are very resourceful. They're very instinctive. They can use not only their instincts, but their senses are very heightened. They have a nose that's amazing. They can smell things out. They can sniff things out, right? So I think you're just using your instincts. You're using that belief in yourself to know when to take the jump and when not to. When not to jump, right? Like when it's the time to do so. And the other thing about this card too is it usually talks about entrepreneurs or small businesses or subcontractors or things like that, where you are kind of going out on your own. This is completely new. This is a new project, and it doesn't mean that you don't work. It doesn't mean you have to be a small business necessarily, but whatever it is that you are doing feels very solo. You're doing it on your own. Foxes aren't in a pack, right? They work on their own. They find those resources, and they are very good at it, right? So people might be telling you, like, this isn't a good idea. This is so new to you. You just had this major achievement. You should keep going after what works. But things have tied up, so it's time to try something new, right? There's beauty in trying something new and being vulnerable and trying something that is, completely different for you, or at least different to the other people around you. Doesn't mean you haven't been thinking about it for a while, but it's new to everyone else. There might be that shock factor that, like, oh my gosh, this is happening really fast. Have you thought about it? Do you have the resources? Are you ready for it? But if you're believing in yourself, if you have these skills and this cleverness already, I think you guys are going to be fine, whatever it is that you want to do, big or small. It seems like they're really showcasing you got this. As long as you keep that belief in yourself, you've got this, because you're deciding which way you want to go. And maybe you've made this decision, like I said, and other people around you are like this dog, like, no, don't do it, don't jump, don't do the things, or you don't have the resources, or whatever it is that they think that you can't do because you should just stick with what works. But you might just be ready. You feel instinctively like it's time to move on. It's time to change. It's time to be vulnerable again. Maybe you just feel unfulfilled right now in some of the things you're doing, because even though you feel proud of it, you've outgrown that shell. Because you also have the 8 of Wands here. So outside of just these bigger scoped sort of ideas, you have the 8 of Wands, which is about fast movement. So you also might feel like this week is going to happen really fast. Everything that you do is going to happen fast. Everything that you're thinking about is going to happen fast. People coming into town maybe to see you, it's going to happen fast. Like, this week is just going to feel very quick. So whatever you want to achieve too, make sure that you time manage, make sure you have the time to do it. The other thing about the 8 of Wands does talk about messages coming in too. So you might be getting Christmas or, holiday cards. You might be getting other sorts of mail, or, someone that's really sending you lots of DM messages, or just something like that. You're really contacting to someone, and whatever it is that you're talking about is going to be really quick replies. So that's something to think about as well. But honestly, the big part of your week is you're just ready to start something new. And a lot of us do, especially at the end of the year. We're starting to close things up. And there's this renewal energy for a lot of us. This feeling of like, I could make these wishes and everything's just going to turn out. And I think that you should follow that energy, because I really do think you have the resources. I think you have the spirit for it. So, and there's, I feel like you feel ready to be vulnerable, to try something that is out of your comfort zone. And I think that's wonderful. And I really do think you should be proud of that and proud of wanting to make this decision to move forward in something. So with that said, let's go ahead and move on to your charms, group 1, so we can get some more information, see what else comes up. and go from there. So group one, we're looking for any information, energy, insights, or guidance coming in for group one for their week ahead. Okay, so very golden here. I'm going to go ahead and pick up the ones that fell upside down or don't have meanings upside down so that we can really purify the messages here. But honestly, a lot of them fell upright, so there's really not a lot to fix up here. But I'm going to go ahead and zoom you in so you can see these messages a lot clearer. If the board gets cut off, don't worry, there's nothing there that you're missing on. All right, so in your central ring here, you have the number 1. You have the number 1 showing up. So it's all about you this week. It's about putting you first. It's about going on that solo journey, like I was talking about, things that are, you're just starting out. It's very much on your own and has to do with your own belief. These can't come from other people. It has to come from belief in yourself, faith in what you want to achieve. And this could be something big like entrepreneurially, or it can be something very small like a new project or a new hobby or something like that. But that doesn't mean it isn't something that can make you feel vulnerable, something that it's like, ooh, I don't know, should I not? So really take that leap. It's really being showcased here that you have the resources, because you also have the key showing up here next to it. So you have the key, you have the key to unlock these parts of yourself, to unlock new skills, to achieve new things that you're after, because there aren't actually any locks here. There's nothing really holding you back, but your resources are here. You have the tools to do it. You also have here the bear claw charm, which I actually found this on a walk, so it does make me think of walks, especially with that fast energy. So some of you might be running or finding other ways to maybe exercise or move your body, dancing possibly this week. I'm seeing that too. But with the bear claw charm, sometimes it falls this way, which means hibernation. And if it falls this way, where it says bear claw down here in the center, then that means that you're directing your energy into action. This is like that sunny energy. It's action. It's progressive. You're trying to move something forward. You have a lot of determination. You're like that mama bear. They're going to go really after those fish. They're going to find the resources and do what they need to. So you have both bear images, or bear sort of, energy, I guess, because you have here both the bear and the fox. And I feel like if you put both the bear and the fox together, which actually I'm going to show you real quick. So here's the bear in the Celtic Lenormand cards, and they're determined. They're that mama bear. They also can talk about determination, like I was saying, resourcefulness, because you can see they're finding the resources. There we go. Now it's in focus. But they can find the resources. They can get across the river. The river can be like that fool energy. It can be foolish to try to go across this new stream. And water talks about vulnerability as well, because water has a very fluid but powerful energy to it, and it talks about our emotions. So you might be having to deep dive into some of that to move yourself forward. So you might have to, like I said, befriend your emotions, really deep dive into some of that so you can have that forward movement. That might even be the thing that you're having to unlock in this case. Unlocking some of your emotions that maybe are holding you back, that vulnerability, can also express in a fear sort of sense. And I think you're sort of navigating that this week. Outside of those, though, you also have the closure charm, and this is the closure charm showcasing a clean closure, a clean break, something that is very clear, very easy, very simple. It was very clean, tied up in a nice bow, like I was talking about with the world card here. So I really do see you guys tying something up. So this could be that you're ending a relationship with someone, you're ending a job, or you're ready to just end the year, you're ready to move on to something new in hobbies. This could be literally anything, big or small, like I keep saying, because I feel like it's not showcasing how large or small the scale is, especially as this is a reading for multiple people. Sometimes that happens, but you have here the angel spirit. So angels are with you at this time. If you work with angels or if you work with guardian angels, or even other winged spirits. It's really showcasing them helping you with this week, and they are your teamwork, right? Because you have the bee, and the bee talks about teamwork. You have to work as a team. Nobody is higher than the other. We're all just trying to be busy bees, trying to get things done, especially with that fast energy. So I really do see communication with spirits and things like that are of your spirit guides or your spiritual team. They're going to work with you on this. They're the ones that are also cheering you on. I feel like you've already possibly worked with them to even achieve this goal, and I feel like there's a lot of gratitude and pride that comes through that. So if you're really wondering if they feel proud of you, or if you're wondering if they are there for you, they really are this week. Not that they aren't normally, but there is sort of this like achievement, like, oh, you did it kind of feel. That's what I'm getting. Like, they love you, they are proud of you. You also have here just before the new moon, so again, more of that cleansing, closure kind of energy, you have the budding flowers charm, and it doesn't like to show up, but there's basically these little flowers that are budding. They're ready to bloom, and I really do see that again just being showcased here with these two different cards. You're tying something up, you're ready to move on, but I think that this Fool energy, like I said, some of you might have shocked you with how fast this energy came in, of being like, I just really want to just take that leap. But for some of you, it might have been happening just before things closed up. So you might have been getting this opportunity before it ended. So if you were in school, maybe you're about to graduate at this time here in December, and some of you might be just getting that internship or just getting that job coming in. You're not sure if you should take that decision or make that leap. But if you feel like you have the resources, if you feel like no one's being sly in that workspace or anything like that, then really take that leap, because it's being shown there that there's going to be such a new cycle coming in for you guys, and there's a lot of hope there too. Hope and guidance, because you have, like I said, some of you might not feel like you're being fully supported by some people around you. They might be feeling kind of fox-like, right? Like they're kind of sly. They're trying to change your decision. They're trying to kind of get in your head, and just don't let them in. They're not your guidance this week, because this is the guiding star. They're not your guidance. You are your own inner star, and sometimes you have to take the road less traveled by, which is this charm. So I really do see you taking a road that's less traveled by. You're adventuring in something that most people wouldn't be, but it gives you inner peace. It gives you love. You feel really at peace with it, and I think that's all that really matters at the end of the day. Just don't let these people get in your head. Make sure to put boundaries up, emotional boundaries, especially seeing as we had so many of that water and bear energy. I really just think that it's like, it's time to not let them, get in your space, get in your bubble. Put some energy barriers up if you want, or use your spiritual team to help bring some of that protection in from their like sly, icky, sticky energy that nobody wants. Nobody wants that, because you have the loyalty charm. So this makes me think you're wanting to be loyal to someone. You're wanting to feel like they're very loyal back to you. But there is the sharp point right next to it, which showcases to me, just because someone is loyal to you, just because they're an old friend, just because you've known someone for a long time, or they're a family member, doesn't mean they always have, your interests at heart, or that they really understand what you want. So if this is something really big, especially, take some time to really dive into and be vulnerable, at least with yourself. Maybe journal, or, do some really inner deep diving to figure out why, or if you have enough belief in yourself or the resources for it. But if you do, and all of these things are just checking off your list, I really see no reason why you shouldn't do it. The last little thing I'm going to mention here, though, is you have the upside down travel charm. So normally this is, normal adventuring and travel, but you had it upside down. And then with that fast energy too coming in, it's just showcasing to me that maybe this isn't the time to go, on any adventures this week. It's just sort of showcasing to me that you're being guided, sort of, maybe this isn't the time to be doing any traveling, or, just be cautious about those sort of things. Look ahead, be prepared for any storms that might be coming in, or anything like that. Just be safe there. And just to clarify, this doesn't mean like a plane's going down or anything like that. It just means, like, especially with the pandemic, to be safe when you go, to be prepared, and that your travel plans just might get more delayed than you would have originally sought it out to be. But with all of that said, I'm going to go ahead and recap here for you, group 1. You have something you've completed. A cycle has been finished. You tied it off with a bow and you're ready to start on something new. You just have to decide which way you want to go with it, if you have enough resources, and if you really truly believe in yourself, because this might be something new to your friends or your family or your boss or something like that you're taking a risk, and others might be involved, and it might just feel like a really fast energy to them. And your week might just feel very fast and quick. So be sure to really take it in where you can, and give yourself some love too when you need to, because sometimes with fast chaotic energy, we don't give ourselves enough self-love. You also might have someone sly trying to come in and change things around, but you also might be taking up something new in business or entrepreneurship, something that you're going kind of solo on, something that's very like a solo sort of hobby. But you also have here like the sense that you really do have the resources and the skill set to learn anything, to do it. And you're being more vulnerable this week. You're being more vulnerable with yourself and what you want to achieve. So with all of that said, I hope you guys enjoyed this week. I'm so curious to see what it is that you have finished. Let me know in the comments down below how these resonated with you, if anything really struck you really hard, or if you wanted to talk about anything in the comments. I would love and truly do appreciate the feedback. Also, please be sure to give this video a like if you did like it. It really does help support this channel, and I appreciate it so much. And lastly, if you are new to the channel and this is one of the very first videos here with me, thank you so much for joining, and a huge welcome. I do readings like this every single week, as well as timeless readings and ones on your monthly blessings. So if you're interested in any of that, please be sure to subscribe and join this tarot loving and charm loving community. With all that said, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you in the next one. Bye! Hello group 2, if you've decided to choose this piece of red jasper alongside the mistletoe, then this is the pile for you. I'm going to go ahead and set these down right here so you can see them during your reading, as today we are going to be using the charms, the watercolor affirmations. We're also going to be using the Celtic Lenormand deck, the Secret Garden deck, and today's tarot deck of choice is the Everyday Tarot, which is so bright and fun, and I love the gold gilding. So let's go ahead and get started on your messages here, group 2. So we're looking for any guidance, energy, insights coming in for the week. That one was so quick. Here you have the 6 of Pentacles as your first card here. Let's see what else you have coming in for your week, group 2. Any energy, insights, or guidance coming in for your week, group 2. You're looking for any energy, insights, or guidance, or if there are people coming in, other big messages, anything we need to know for the people here in group 2's pile. Group 2. What do you have coming in? Right, you also have here the 4 of Wands. Right, let's see your final tarot card here for the week. So group 2, we're looking for any information, energy, insights, or guidance coming in. Ooh, okay, you got 2 messages here, although there were far too many cards, so I just decided to put them back. Because you had like 12 cards that clumped out. So we're going to keep going. We need some more clarity here. So group 2, we're looking for any information, energy, insights, or guidance. Okay, so here you have both the Hierophant and the 8 of Pentacles. Okay. So let's see what else you have coming in real quick before I even speak on all of this energy that you have. But let's see what you have coming in for your Celtic Lenormand message here for the week. And if you hear the heat in the background, sorry that you're going to have to hear it, but it's really cold here because it's snowing. And so yeah, if you hear it, just ignore it. Sometimes white noise can be comforting for me, but here we go. So group Group 2, we're looking for any information, energy, insights, or guidance coming in for Group 2. Okay. You have here the cat. So you have the cat here, and it also has here the numbers 18 and the 10 of hearts or the 10 of cups. And so there is the little kitty cat here chilling in the meadow. And those numbers might resonate with you depending on what the messages are here. They might have a lucky number or a life path number or something else that really just resonates with some of you. But let's see what else you have coming in for your week. Group 2, we're looking for any information, energy, insights, or guidance coming in for Group 2. Group 2, what do we need to know for Group 2? Okay, you guys have here potential. The littlest key can open the heaviest door. And there's a little key down there. Such a beautiful message. The littlest key can open the heaviest door, right? It's not always about how heavy it is, but how much skill you have, the resources you have, and that, just believing in yourself to open that door. But before we talk any more on that, let's go ahead and let's look into your final message here with the watercolor affirmations before we do the charms later on in the video. So stay tuned for those. But Group 2 here, Group 2, what do we need to know about Group 2's week ahead? The week ahead for Group 2. Group 2. All right. So you had Go Your Own Way fall here on the Hierophant. And then you also had here 2 sides to every coin, which fell right here on the 6 of Pentacles, I believe. Yes. So those are your messages. Let's go ahead and dive deep into them for your week. So first off, I want to talk about the 2 sides to every coin and then the 6 of Pentacles. So right now, I feel like some of you might be gift giving or trying to get things ready for the holidays, especially since you have this 4 of Wands coming in, which is about a big celebratory event. Wow, words. Celebrate, you know what I'm trying to say. Big celebrations. So these can be weddings, these can be birthdays, or they can be really big holidays. They also can talk about date nights or things like that. But seeing as you have it falling next to this 6 of Pentacles, and this is all about the time of giving and giving back, and that play between receiving and giving at this time with the 2 sides of every coin, I really do think that you're looking towards maybe helping a cause this week. I really do see that. So some of you might be going and helping online with a cause. Maybe you could be helping with homeless shelters or giving food or toys that you're sending out to kids or things like that are for the holidays, some sort of way to give back to your community, to those around you, especially with the type of year we've had. I really do see that for some of you. And if you're not giving back to necessarily people you don't know or people that are more distant to you, this can also be people that you are literally giving to, like you might be having, get-togethers with people that you know, or some sort of gift giving in terms of literally just giving a gift or a present or something like that, or receiving a present. You also might be receiving some financial help this week from friends or family too, who are either you are giving some financial help or receiving financial help right now. Because the 6 of Pentacles is all about that give and take, right? So sometimes we need that financial help because we, they have a little bit more to give, and sometimes, it's got to balance out. So who needs it more? Who, needs that energy right now of money or finance or even your time? You might just need to help someone out or be helped yourself. So be sure to ask for help if you need it, and be sure to be willing to give the help if someone needs it too, or even reach out this week, especially to friends that are around you as well, because you have the cat, which is all about friendship. This is like the friendship card in the deck of Lenormand, that and the dog. They both talk about being loyal, being kind, really giving, and being that unconditional love too, right? Because if you've ever been a pet owner, there's such unconditional love, such joy, such care that can be given to someone who isn't necessarily who looks like us. So I really do see that you might be seeing the other side of a coin. You're really being loyal and caring towards other people and very giving. So this is really great to be seeing. On top of that, you also have here the Hierophant showing up with Go Your Own Way. And the Hierophant here is sort of a traditionalist. They are very traditional. They are teachers. They are they can be priestess, they can be people of spiritual leaders, they can be teachers, they can be anyone of a higher authority because they have more knowledge is sort of showing up here, or because they follow a certain set of traditions over time. So this could have to do with maybe changing your mind about your spiritual path. This could be changing your mind about these traditions that you have during the holidays, or even what holidays you celebrate, or what, you might just be changing your path there, or changing your mind and different traditions that you have with your family, with your friends. Just things are changing from the traditional, especially this year in general. Things are changing from the traditional, but I really think that it's not like a forced change like COVID has made some of us, where we're forced to not be able to see friends or family or have to do things a little differently. But I really see with Go Your Own Way, I think it's more of a positive attitude in the fact that, or a defiant attitude even, where you're sort of, sticking it to the man in a way, like you're just trying to be like, nah, this is what I'm doing. You don't have to agree with it, and I'm going to just do it my way. And so maybe some of you are new parents, or you are trying to do something new finally after being married, or something like that, where you are getting to change up those traditions. Things aren't staying the same. Things aren't going to stay stagnant forever. Traditions are made and changed and malleable over time. And I think that you're just, sticking your foot in it and saying, no, this is what I want. You also have here the Eight of Pentacles showing up. So hard work too. So if you are having to continue to work this week, or you are having a job, or you're just really working on certain really big projects, there's a need for focus this week, because it's not even just talking about hard work, but being very focused on what you are doing. So as you can see, they're focused. They're not looking at this castle in the background and all of this social media or all these other things that can be distractions for us. You're really focused on your craft, you're focused on your work, and you're refining your work too. So it's not only are you creating something, but you're also editing it to make it the best that it can be, because you're not looking at everything you have created or everything you still have to create. You're putting all of your time and energy into one task. So something I would recommend to some of you who don't necessarily time manage or use task lists, be sure to not just write like something very vague, like I need to work, for like me personally, I need to work on so-and-so's craft project. Instead I would say like, I need to work on this, which will get me to this in that actual project. So really break it down into the smaller details so you can create a better scope and see the whole picture of what needs to get done, and that you aren't overwhelming yourself too, because sometimes when you break all those details down, you can see things and how long it's going to take, and you can really see everything and get it out of your head, so you don't have to hold on to that information, hold on to all those tiny little details. So that's just a little trick for you this week to take on. And then you also have potential showing up here. So I really do see that if you felt maybe down about your potential, about your focus that you're working on in these projects, or that you're working on in your job, you do have potential. You do have the resources. You have, you just have to be enough to open that door. Just because the door is heavy, just because it can be difficult, just because there's a lot. Like I was saying, if you break it down, the littlest key is going to open that door. Every little smaller detail is going to open that heavier door. So I really do think you might feel overburdened this week, or you've just got a lot on your plate, which it really does look like it. So just realize you have the potential to get all the way through it, and that if you time manage, slow down, look at the details, and see why and where you're going to get to, it's going to go a lot quicker. And feel a little less stressful. But let's go ahead and move on to your charms. Group 2. I'm very interested to see what they are, especially with you having sort of it's not like one overall theme for you guys this week. It might be because a lot of you chose this pile too, so definitely take what resonates and leave what doesn't. But I just think you guys have a lot of energy happening here, so let's get some more information and deep dive a little bit further. So group two, we're looking for any information, energy, insights, or guidance coming in for group 2. For the week ahead. Okay, so let's see what you have here. I'm going to just move around some of these here so we can see them a lot more clearly and get rid of the ones that are upside down because I don't read them that way. If you guys would be interested in seeing how I read my different charms, if that interests you, let me know in a comment down below. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and zoom you guys in so you can see everything here. Okay, so let's go ahead and dive in. So first off, here in your central ring, you have quite a few different things happening here. So you have the family tree charm. So you might be getting together with friends or family, like I was stating earlier, especially since you had that friendship card of the cat. I do see you being loyal or talking to friends or family. Maybe the celebration has to do with friends, maybe a wedding, a birthday, a bigger celebration on that sort of front coming in. And ones that you're making new memories with, you're trying new things with, or even looking back at past memories with them, because you have the camera charms. This talks about memories, remembrance, looking back at past memories and making new ones. So you have that also coming in. You also have here, I don't know why I had that charm not put away because it was upside down, but you have here the insecurity charm. So this is about feeling insecure, feeling a little off balance, feeling a little like, because this is a safety pin, you're supposed to feel safe, but you might be feeling insecure or might be feeling a little less protected at this time. Maybe protected spiritually, or you might be feeling less protected in terms of like someone isn't being loyal to you, as loyal as you are to them. So that might be something you might need to evaluate this week. Especially in terms of selflessness. Are you giving more than you are taking or getting back? So like I said, things will balance out, but there might be moments right now where someone is sort of taking advantage of you because you have this selfless charm. So you might be giving and giving and giving and not really receiving anything back. So if you have someone like this, be sure that they aren't becoming a toxic sort of situation for you, because you also have the like hard to breathe, feeling, a little bit more possible anxiety sort of charm coming up here, because it has the A here, and then you also have A showing up again here. So this might be a specific name or specific place showing up here, but you do have the A showing up. But then this charm also makes me think of, like I said, anxiety. The holidays and especially big celebratory events and things like that can feel like a lot, especially if you have a social anxiety or if you have some sort of situation where you don't feel as good in your social skills or how much you're giving or receiving here. So really just take some time to realize that like usually things work out. Look back at old times, figure out your different things that are triggering you or things that you can avoid or cope through, and really look into those this week. Find different coping mechanisms or at least pull some of those out for yourself this week. Because you also have the worry charm. So this reminds me of like a worry stone, like those little rub stones that you kind of rub around. And so this makes me think of a worry stone. It also makes me think of water energy. So for some people, maybe what's going to help you is to connect back to water to help unlock some of those emotions, bring down some of that anxiety. Water can be incredibly healing. So taking a bath, taking a shower, and really putting intention to it. So it's not even just taking the bath or the shower, but like as the water runs down the drain or just runs down you, really think and have the intention that you are releasing yourself of what is holding you back. And you might just feel immensely better. I personally do this all the time and I feel amazing. It's a transformational sort of experience and I love it. You also have, again, another sort of Hierophant charm showing up here. So this is like This makes me think of more either a spiritual sort of path, but it also, because they have that crown there, it makes me think of like a higher person in a spiritual path. So if you're talking to someone higher up in a church or a religious sort of thing, or someone else that's maybe putting those views on you or those traditional views, you might just be ready to go your own way, change their mind, talk to them about it, because something's changing up there. You might have felt like you had to be very committed to this religion or this spirituality, and it isn't as fluid for you. It hasn't been as fluid for you because other people are holding you back or something else is happening there. But around that commitment, you have here 2 different charms. This is the closure charm, so it's like a closure that just feels stuck to you. It feels like you can't close it. Like it's just like, it's stuck. It's a never-ending loop, you know? And then on top of that, you also had the nut charm here, which makes you feel it's more open feeling, because you can have both the bolt, which makes you feel bolted down, or you can have the nut, which makes you feel a little bit more open. So seeing as you have that, I feel like you're just opening your mind about your spirituality this week, changing your mind about different bigger traditions in your life, possibly to do with holidays or different, figures that are of authority in your life, and how that relationship is changing there. Because you also have the light ball charm and the higher perspective charm of the giraffe. So I really do see you changing your mind, having new ideas and a bigger perspective. Maybe someone has opened your eyes, opened your world, maybe even changed your focus here. Like I was saying here, you had all this hard work, and maybe you've been working towards something in a spiritual sense. And then you're finally seeing it for what it is, and that might be coming in as well. You also have the more ornate charms. This makes me think of like ornate things. So you might be getting gifts or finances coming in that are of very good quality and like really nice tangible items. And then lastly here in this little section and over here, you have the charm of the bottled up charm. So this is something you've been holding in for a while. You're feeling the weight of it. It feels heavy. It feels like a lot. It feels like a ton of bricks on your back, right? And like I said, I felt like you might have felt overwhelmed by your work or by what you're trying to jumpstart in, even because you have the jumpstart charm, because it's the spring. You're springing forward. You're moving towards a new path. And whatever this new path is, or even new project that you're after, or even having to do with that spiritual side, it could be both. Whatever you're holding in here, whatever this anxiety is, or this, like, you're just having to push it all down, like you can't say what you really want to say, it's gonna explode at some point. Honestly, it's ready to pop, so just be aware of that this week, that there might be some conflict happening, because you also have the number 5, which makes me think of the 5 of Wands, which is the kind of the conflict confrontation sort of the confrontation sort of card in tarot, and then you have it coming after this A, so it might have to do with someone having to do with the letter A rather, and it falls here on the first quarter moon, which is all about action. So be sure about the confrontations you get into, and be sure that if things get a little heated, that you can find a way to calm them back down. Use those sort of techniques that I was talking about earlier. Let some of that, flow through you like water, because if you get too heated up, if you have too much of that heated energy, and then that go your own way kind of energy, things could get a little bit more heated than you had expected or wanted. So with all of that said, I'm going to go ahead and leave you there, group 2. I hope you guys enjoyed. I'm going to do a quick recap here. You have potential this week to get the goals that you want done. It just is going to require some time management and some work ethic coming in. You also had the Hierophant here, which is a really big highlight. New traditions having to do with these celebrations, or having to do with your spirituality, or the way that you see religion, or something like that, on those sort of higher up sort of lines, maybe even in science too, is changing. You had a commitment to it. There was something that was very tied to you. You felt very committed to it, but it's changing. Things are shifting, and you're changing your mind here. There's been a shift. There's been a change, and you're voicing that because you have go your own way. And I really do see that you may have been holding this in for a while, and there might just be a confrontation that comes up. So be aware of that, possibly with family or friends, seeing as that showed up. You also have here the Six of Pentacles, so be sure that there is a balance of give and take this week, especially in your energy and how much you give it to people, because you might be giving more than you are receiving, or you might be the one actually that is taking more than you are receiving. So be aware of that this week. You know that there's two sides to every coin. Some people might just need a little bit more help, or maybe you both are at the same level and it's just that like energy of, you know, almost a competition. I got more sleep than you, or you got more, you know, that sort of like kind of petty energy of like who has more, who has less. There's also making memories this week, gaining new perspective, letting go of some of what's on your mind, and going your own way, because I really do see that you're really being, you know, coming into your own this week, and I really think you should own that. So with all of that said, I hope you guys enjoyed this reading here today. I'd love to know what you thought of the different charms, their placements, what they were next to. Maybe you have a specific charm that's showing up here, as I always invite you guys to look at the charms and see them in your own light here. Let me know in the comments down below if specific ones resonate with you differently. I'd love to know. I enjoy that kind of feedback and that conversation in the comments so much. Also, please be sure to give this video a like if you did like the video and like this reading. I really do appreciate it, as it does help support this channel and continue to let me know that you're enjoying these readings. Also, if you are new to the channel, thank you so much for joining, and a huge welcome. I do timeless readings at the very beginning of each month about your different blessings coming in and the energy of the month. And I also do these weekly readings every single Monday. So if you're interested in any of that, please be sure to subscribe and join this community of tarot and charm and oracle loving people. I'd love to have you guys here. And with all of that said, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you in the next one. Bye. Hello group 3, if you decide to choose this piece of yellow aventurine alongside this little vial or jar of blue spruce needles, then this is the pile for you. I'm going to go ahead and set those down right here for you so you can see them during the reading. As today we are going to be using the charms, the watercolor affirmations. We're also going to be using the Celtic Lenormand deck and the Secret Garden Oracle. And the tarot deck of choice today is going to be the Everyday Tarot. I'm really feeling this purple and gold energy, so I'm just vibing with it. But let's go ahead and start looking into your weekly messages, group 3. So group 3, we're looking for any information, energy, insights, or guidance coming in for your week ahead. So group 3, what do you guys have coming in for group 3? Okay, I was really feeling this King of Pentacles here. Honestly, this card as well. You have the Five of Swords. So let's see what else you have coming in. So group 3, we're looking for any information, energy, insights, or guidance coming in for your week ahead. So group 3. Okay. So you have quite a few that just plopped down, but we're going to take the Page of Cups here alongside this Lover's card. And see what else comes in. Alright, so I'm just going to arrange these a little bit here, but let's go ahead and get started with your Celtic Lenormand message for the week. So group 3, we're looking for any information, energy, insights, or guidance coming in. Group 3. Okay, you also had here the Fish, and if these numbers resonate with you, you also have the number 34 being showcased here alongside the King of Pentacles or the King of Diamonds here. So the King of Diamonds or 34. So let's see your Secret Garden message for the week. So group 3, we're looking for any information, energy, insights, or guidance coming in for group 3. There we go. And you have grow. All flowers must grow through dirt, right? Does that not sum up this year? But there you go, grow. And lastly here, we're going to do your watercolor affirmation card, but stay tuned later for the charms as we're going to look into those fun little details for your week. So group three, here we go. Here you have, what if, right? What if? Sometimes we think about the negative side of what if, and this is all about changing that mindset to the positive side of what if. But let's go ahead and start unpacking these messages for your week, group 3. All right, so we cannot ignore this Lovers card, right? So you have the Lovers card coming up, but alongside that you have the what if, and then you also have this 5 of Swords and 2 different sort of court cards here of the Page of Cups and the King of Pentacles. And I really do feel like they are all very much aligning. So I really do see that someone is coming into your life, or someone has already come into your life that you are either married to or in a partnership or some sort of relationship with someone. This can be platonic or otherwise. Just because you have the Lovers card does not mean it has to be romantic, although it does highly signify that to me here, that you might be in a new relationship, or I really am feeling like a married couple as well, because you have here the 5 of Swords showing up. So I really do think that, you know, with this relationship at the moment, there might just be some sort of dispute that happens this week, because the 5 of Swords talks about wanting more than you should, or feeling competitive possibly. So you might be feeling in competition with your partner or with someone else, might be feeling a little bit like, you know, that they're trying to overtake your shine, or they're trying to do something like that where it feels a little manipulative. They feel like they're trying to take more than you should get. You know, as you can see, they have all these swords all to themselves and they're guarding them and they're like, these are mine, so back off. So there really is some sort of, you know, miscommunication here, or at least that someone is being, you know, they're trying to take a little bit more than they should. And I really do think you should put your foot down here. You know, you should really let people know, because you have also here the resources charm. So I really do think they're trying to take too many of the resources. So if this is like the person who budgets, or they're trying to take too much of the funds for something to have to do with gifts, or they're just taking a little bit more than they should in this case, really look out for that this week. Make sure that they're not taking from something that you really need, savings that you might need at this time. Make sure that no one's being kind of sly around you or sneaking around with some of that money. But on top of that, I really see another layer of messages here, because as I said, this might resonate differently for each of you because of the fact that this is sort of there's more people watching basically. But you have that what if, and then the grow. And I really do see with this Lovers card that for some of you, if you aren't married or with someone already, this is more the message for you, more of the singles sort of side of it, or the casual dating side of it, because you have both the King of Pentacles here and the Page of Cups. And the Page of Cups talks about new relationships as well, because they talk about that little fish popping out, which makes you think of new friendships or new relationships. And I really think that maybe you've been holding yourself back, because with the 5 of Swords, they make me think you are also holding yourself back, right? Like you're trying to keep on to all your resources, or keep working on work, or you're putting all of your priorities in things that are more comfortable, things that you already have. And especially with this King of Pentacles, he can be very comfortable. He is like the king of comfortability. He has everything he needs. He feels good. His business is doing good. Things are doing good on that financial level, or at least in the comfort of their home. And, you know, you're hitting this what if, right? Like, what if you put yourself out there? What if you let yourself see some new people, or at least open yourself up to your own relationship, like a self-love sort of relationship? Because I really do think it's time for you to grow, right? So look into dating apps, look into other sorts of resources that are available to you right now, because I really do see that coming in. Like I said, there's sort of a double message here, depending on which side you're on, of either in a relationship feeling like you might need to make sure no one's hiding or trying to be too competitive in the relationship, or you need to put yourself out there and create this relationship. Start heading toward it instead of waiting for something to come to you, instead of waiting for these resources to just fly into your mouth, right? Like, it's time to put the initiative in and really look and hunt for them, right? And I just say hunt as in only because they're fish. But you also have grow here. So I really do see a lot of growth happening here too in your subconscious level for some of you, because you have either financial growth happening here, or I also see with this cup, it makes me think of subconscious. So some of you might be growing your intuition, right? You might be growing your intuition. You might be growing some of those skills having to do with intuition, having to do with dream work, psychic work, things like that. Or just working with your subconscious and maybe even looking into psychology this week. Because you really do have that growth card popping up here. So I really do think it's important to start looking into some of those things and really dive into it. And if you feel right now that you don't have the resources in which to do that, like maybe you don't have the funds or things like that, maybe look into other types of resources. Charms, if you wanted to look into getting more intuition, charms are super easy to start looking into. Like this was just a tiny little piece that came off of headphones that I maybe bought or something. I don't even remember. This was an old childhood charm, right? So there are different ways of using divination or using different forms of, looking into things using your intuition. So really look into some of those ways. If you feel like you don't have the funds to do that right now, especially if someone's maybe taking some of those funds, or you just don't have that in you right now to kind of make that splurge for yourself, it's time to just look at the what if I tried something else? So really use that as a mantra this week, that what if in a positive way versus a negative way, because that's coming through for everyone here. So let's go ahead and move on to your charms, group 3, because I really do feel like we need some more information here beyond just these cards, because they're coming through as 2 different layered messages, and I want to see some more clarity on that. So let's go ahead and do that. All right, so group 3 here. Looking for group 3's week ahead. What do we need to know about the week ahead for group 3? Any energy, insights, or guidance coming in for group 3? Okay. Had a couple here fall on the floor. So I'm going to go ahead and drop those here, see where they fell, and go ahead and sort these charms out. I'm honestly curious if you guys have been interested in learning more about these charms, or if they, if that'd be a video or something you guys would be interested in. So let me know if so. But I'm going to go ahead and get us started here. So let's zoom on in so you can see all of these messages. And I'm going to zoom you in and you can see everything. So first up in your focus ring, you have the universe charm. So like I said, some of you are working with the universe, maybe spirit guides, working with your intuition, your more spiritual side, or working on that psychological side of yourself. So you have that coming in here with the universe charm. This makes me think of the universe. It's wide and it's beautiful and it's expansive, and it also has a lot of opportunity and potential coming in there too, and a lot of room for growth, right? Because if we open this universe to ourselves, if we open that what if to ourselves too, we can let ourselves expand, let ourselves see new things, try new things, and see things in a more positive light. And it doesn't necessarily mean you need to always be positive necessarily, but just try to at least look at both sides of that coin. What if things did go right? What if you did get that job? What if you did try this new thing? What if you did talk to your partner about the things that aren't really working out? What if you did make that step to, pursue someone? So that is really showing up here. You also have here the, kind of hurt heart. This makes me think of the 3 of Swords, if you're familiar with the 3 of Swords in tarot. It's sort of you're feeling a little hurt. You're feeling a little it's sticky, icky, inky kind of heart. You feel hollow as well. I feel a hollow sense too. And that is really making me think of the Lover's card, and things just aren't really going so well for some of you. Single or otherwise, this can resonate either way, but I really do feel like whatever it is for this relationship that you're in with a friend or with your partner, that there's just something that is feeling hidden from you or feeling hurt because someone isn't really listening to you or giving you the time of day or giving you enough space. There's something in there, right? But really I'm feeling the competitive nature of this card. It's very competitive. So if you feel like someone is like trying to make your, that kind of person that would tell you like, I got only 3 hours of sleep last night, and then they'd try to one up you, right? And there was like no need for it. You were just asking for support. I feel like that's how this is sort of going here. Like you just feel like you're not getting the support, you're not being heard, and instead it's becoming like more about them and less about you. And that like give and take in a relationship isn't really happening there, that emotional give and take, that logical give and take. So really look into that with your partner. Be open, have open communication, because something is feeling a little sticky, icky, not so good. And it's not something serious. I feel like it can be something that can be definitely mended. But there is some communication loss here. So really look into that this week. Be open with them. And if it's you right now who doesn't feel open too, be sure to be open. You also have the scaredy cat charm coming up next to the emotional sort of water energy. So like I said earlier, some of you might be feeling a little bit that scaredy cat kind of feeling, like I can't try that. Like I'm not ready to grow through that. I'm going to stay in the dirt. I ain't going to grow. So if you're feeling a little scared in a relationship or reaching out right now to someone possibly of that King of Pentacles vibe, or even of the Page of Pentacles, which shows off someone who's more creative, more of their emotions, who has a lot of potential in love, I just really think that you're kind of holding yourself back from, experiencing love for the fullest and growing through that. So for some of you, it really does have to come down to that. But then at the same time, it comes down to communicating as well. If you're feeling scared to communicate with someone, maybe because they aren't listening, which is happening here, it's just time to move through that. Also, with that growth charm here, you had grow, right? And then you have the growth charm happening over here as well, right next to the release moon of the last quarter moon. So I really do think that you are growing through something on this last quarter moon, which makes me think, oh, you can't really see it, but it's right there, but you are releasing something, right? Because this is the release moon. It's releasing something. So you're releasing sort of what wasn't working, what wasn't, letting yourself have the potential for growth, right? Because if we're trying to grow a new plant, you have to make sure you have the soil, the sun, the water, you have to have the space, the air quality, all of that stuff makes a difference. And if you're growing in a place that isn't really, working for you, then you can't have that growth come in. So when that sort of sticky energy gets released and that hollowness, that's going to create a huge shift for you. And that's really lovely to see. Things just really need to be brought to light this week as well, because you have the sun, which is about clarity, things being brought to light. It's also about action and putting action to your goals, putting action to what you want to serve you. So that's showing up here. It's not really got much around it, but you do have the structure charm pretty close to it. So this talks about structures in our lives. So this is like hidden structures. So like, time management, timetables, structures in that way in a time sense, or structures in like boundaries or emotional structures that you have, the way that you talk to your partner. Maybe just the structures need to be clarified. Maybe your boundaries haven't been made, your emotional boundaries, what you guys do in a relationship, how it works. So you might just need to go back to that foundation and really look into some of that this week. Because someone definitely hasn't been as clear with you, because you have the full moon where it is illusion, and then you have the charm of sort of sneaking around the situation, because you have here the knight charm, which talks about in chess, if any of you guys play chess, they move 1 move and 2 over, or 2 forward and 1 over, so they can kind of move around the board in sort of like a slinky kind of way. They're like just being kind of sly, not really telling you the whole truth, or being very competitive about it as well, in that chess sort of way, like playing games with you. So make sure that you're really reinforcing your boundaries, reinforcing what you want in a relationship, or moving towards someone, especially if you feel like you feel this scared intuition feeling that you're trying to work towards. it might be warranted. So for some of you, it might be that you're feeling scared because you're not ready to grow. And for some of you, it's warranted. So look into that person, maybe do some research, talk to other friends, get advice there from people you trust. You also have the selfless charm here. So you might be giving to someone this week, being very giving, being very kind, giving your energy to someone. Make sure you're not overly giving. It doesn't mean that you can't be giving, doesn't mean you can't be kind. But be sure that it's warranted. Be sure that somebody isn't just getting it for no reason, that they've been kind to you back, and that you're having that continue to be received. And if you need to be selfless this week, go ahead and do that as well. You do have the loyal charm as well, where you're feeling very loyal to someone. This makes me think of the Queen of Wands or the Queen of Swords in this case as well. So this is about open communication. If you put like both the Queen of Wands and the Queen of Swords together, that's both air energy and fire energy. So it's putting action, which you had coming in here, action to your words, action to what you want. So if you really need boundaries, if you need to tell someone how it is, tell people about your feelings, different things that are happening there, that definitely needs to be showcased, because something is either being held back or being blocked by another. So really look into that. You also have here, lastly, you have the believe charm, or that you can just fly, believe in yourself. So you have belief in silver linings, so believe that things can turn out well. Like I was talking about with the what if charm or what if card here, that I really think that you might just feel like you might not have the resources right now, or you just feel like things are kind of down or they're not really working, especially in the holiday season when things really should be working or running through pretty well. Believe in yourself, believe things can work out, believe that there are what ifs to the situation, be flexible, because you have the flexibility charm here. Be more flexible, hear them out, it goes both ways in a conversation. But you also have here the unique charm. So this is the, also believe in yourself, because it is of unicorns. If you work with unicorn energy too, this could be showcased to use them in guidance this week. But you also have here the, believing in yourself and being more unique, letting your unique self also shine this week, because maybe you feel like you've had to sort of put some of that intuition, that spirituality, or letting yourself not shine towards someone whom you're interested in or want to pursue, and you've been sort of holding yourself back, kind of moving around the situation, not letting anyone see you truly for what you are, not wanting anyone to see that you're interested in them or you have a crush. So for some of you, like I said, it might be less about like that sleeky sly energy and more about just having the potential with someone and not really letting yourself be seen, letting yourself be heard, or letting yourself, be your unique self. Being more flexible to the idea of letting someone see who you are. Because for some of you might have just been holding back from telling someone who you are. So like I said, there's definitely two sides of the coin to which part of this might resonate for some of you, and I'd be interested to know in the comments down below which side is really resonating for some of you, if it is more the relationship, already in a relationship side, or the potential for a relationship side. But I would love to know in the comments down below, so let me know. As always, feel free to check out the charms or the cards and really sit with them, journal with them, or really reflect with them and see what else comes in. Use the comments if you'd like as sort of your own little personal journal if you'd like, as I know some of you like to really express yourself there, and I love that. But I'm going to go ahead and do a quick recap here for you, group 3. It's all about the possibilities this week, the what if, the belief in yourself, the uniqueness of the situation. You're also gaining clarity on your finances, or gaining clarity on the resources and the things that you have around you. If this means you need new resources in, tarot or astrology or other ways of learning and using your intuition, definitely look into some of those ways that work for you. Or you could be even looking into, like I said, the more psychological side, so more of the study side. You also had that 5 of Swords. Like I said, there's two sides to this. One side where someone's sort of holding back, not listening to you, inky kind of heart. The other side is not feeling like you can open up to someone. So both sides sort of have this block. But it's being open this week. If you allow it, if you bring clarity to it, it's going to take work, and it's going to take a conversation that is needed, that is going to release something so you can grow again, because you haven't been able to grow. You haven't been, putting in some of that energy that you need. You also have whoever might be coming in as a potential sort of relationship. Could either be a Page of Cups or a King of Pentacles here. So King of Pentacles more on the financial business kind of guy side, and this is the more feminine intuition, playing with different art, maybe even art magic, or just they're very sociable as well kind of side. So this could be one or both different people, maybe even you're trying to decide between this week. You also had, like I said, the Lovers card, which sort of gave us some of that context. And lastly here, I was like, where did this card come from? I must have picked it up, because I was like, wait, what? So ignore that Death card. That was not part of your pile. I just accidentally picked it up there. But that's all I have for you guys here. It is definitely a more complicated week. A week about being open, being more honest, having conversations where you need to, being more positive in terms of what if, and knowing that you have the skills and intuition to figure out the situation. It's just getting there, being more flexible, and there is a silver lining, don't you worry. It's just going to take those harder conversations. So look into those structures and underlining boundaries, and you're going to be good. But with all of that said, like I said, go ahead and let me know in the comments down below how this resonated for each of you. I'd love to know, especially with your guys' pile, which was more complex. I'd love to know how it resonated and enjoy the feedback. Also, please be sure to give this video a like if you really did like this video and liked this reading here with me. It really does help support this channel, and I appreciate it so much. And lastly, if you are new to this channel, big welcome. I hope you guys enjoyed. I do these weekly readings every single Monday, as well as timeless readings and readings on your monthly blessing. So if you're interested in any of that, feel free to check out my channel or check out the monthly video that's out right now. I would love the support. And also, if you'd like to join this tarot loving, charm loving, and oracle loving kind of community here of different messages and things like that, I'd love to have you join and support this channel by subscribing. So with all of that said, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!